This is the Sunshine Cathedral perspective. In America, you don't have to go to church to be a Christian nationalist. Millions of Americans are leaving church never to return, and it would be easy to think that this will make the country more secular and possibly more liberal. After all, that is what happened in Northern and Western Europe in the 1960s. A younger generation quit going to Anglican, Lutheran, or Catholic churches and embraced a liberal, secular pluralism that shaped European politics for the rest of the 20th century and beyond. Something similar happened in the traditionally Catholic Northeast. So, as church attendance declines even in the Southern Bible Belt and the rural Midwest, history suggests these regions will become more secular, more supportive of abortion and LGBTQ+ rights. But that is not what is happening. Declines in church attendance have made the rural Republican regions of the country even more Republican and, perhaps more surprising, more stridently Christian nationalist. Just as liberal Christians in Massachusetts and Connecticut stayed liberal when they dropped off their church's membership roll, so conservative Christians in Alabama and Indiana stay conservative even when they're no longer a part of a congregation. In fact, people become even more entrenched in their political views when they stop attending services. Well, and the sky is blue. It's, for me, silo thinking. People are a part of their own thought process, and if you're a conservative, you're going to be a conservative whether you're in church or outside of church. And they've got their media arm that helps them remember. There's this thing, Fox News, and when you listen to it, you're constantly being told that the way you think is the way the world should think. And then there's always the Orange Menace that's been indicted 4 times, but they still over 30% of Americans, not just Republicans, 30% of Americans still support this fool. Yes. What can I say? Now, we've got help. We've got hope because here we are, Sunshine Cathedral. We are a group of queer pastors, out, proud, and loud about it. We speak truth to ignorance, at least we try. And I just want to remind people of what our affirmation is. I'm just going to read it the way we say it every single Sunday. God is love. Kindness is our worship. Compassion is our prayer. The sacred value of all people is our creed. And healing the hurts, oh, this is the one. Healing the hurts caused by hatred is our mission. So, my friends, there is hope out there. There are churches, there are people, there are groups that want you to understand that we believe in a God of pure love.
The thing about the Christian nationalism is that's the religion anyway. I mean, you can call it Lutheran Missouri Synod, you can call it Southern Baptist, you can call it Pentecostal, you can call it Church of Christ, you can call it whatever, but that's the religion that they've tried to spiritualize. Maybe because of COVID, maybe because of some scandals, I don't know, maybe they're not as interested in giving up their Sunday mornings. But it was never about Sunday morning. It was always about the hatred, about the control. I grew up in the Bible Belt. This isn't new. It's new that they have their own television station. It's new that they have multiple political candidates. It's new that they sometimes are in charge of the whole government. That's new. But these church going, or maybe the wife would go to church and the husband wouldn't, or the kids would go to church till they're 18 and they didn't have to, or whatever. But church was the excuse. Church was the veneer. Church was the mask. The guns and the racism and the homophobia and the women should know their place in the home and the domestic violence, all of those things were their religion. And then they said something about Jesus. And, that was supposed to make it, be what, and it was, but no, the nationalism which is not patriotism, although
Right.
patriotism is the favorite aunt of nationalism, but nationalism, which is we are somehow, because of where we landed on the planet, better than wherever anyone else landed. We're better, and we have to keep it pure. So we can't have a lot of immigrants, we can't have a lot of diversity, we can't have a lot of diversity of thought, and so it's very insulated, it's very right wing, and that's what nationalism is, and it's not healthy, and it's very scary. But it isn't that these religious people became nationalists and then gave up religion. It's
Right.
these nationalists were pretending to be religious, and now apparently they're doing it less so. But the nationalism is their religion.
Yes.
I think the indigenous people who were here before we here had it right. And a certain cohort has just messed us up for all eternity. And we're still paying for it. And so I think if we look at that and break it down, all the dismantling that needs to be done around that, if we just got back to the core values of let's love Earth, let's love life, let's appreciate things for who they are, and let's respect people for who they are, instead of just having things being taken away from us, then I think we'd probably be in a better place.
You might have been a little too subtle for some people when you're saying a certain cohort. Were we meant to hear white supremacy? White supremacy is the problem? Is that where? Yeah.
A name by any other name is just
I just gotta say it out loud. You gotta call it what it is.
It is what it is. Next up, we are excited to tell you about our adventure with our global fellowship. In 2024, we'll be going where the hills are alive as we explore Austria and Alpine Europe for Gay Oktoberfest. Space is extremely limited, so make sure to go to happeningout.travel/sunshine to reserve your space now.
Would you like to join the Queer God Squad on a special winter cruise in 2024? Well, now you can. You can visit Cozumel, Mexico, Grand Cayman, and Ocho Rios. And you can even add an open bar and Wi-Fi. Join us by going to happeningout.travel/sunshine.